There's been a big push here lately on trying to get electric vehicles here, trying to claim that they're going to save the environment. The fact is, they're really not. They may be a little bit better for emissions than gasoline vehicles or internal combustion engines, but really look at what is required to actually build these electric vehicles is really not that much difference. The time they're actually made and when they're charged and everything. It takes about 1,000-pound battery to run an electric vehicle, and they're heavy. So it takes about 25 pounds of lithium, 60 pounds of nickel, 44 pounds of manganese, 30 pounds of cobalt, 200 pounds of copper, and 400 pounds of aluminum, steel, and plastics. Lithium is the main ingredient as far as what actually makes the batteries actually work. If you know much about like power tools, or most of the batteries are lithium ion batteries, same kind of concept there. Lithium is a natural resource. It's got to be mined. China controls 65% of the world's lithium processing and refining capacity. 65% coming from China. To make one battery, it takes about 500 pounds of raw material to be moved and processed. It takes about 100 barrels of oil, or energy equivalent of oil, to fabricate a quantity of batteries to store a single barrel of oil equivalent. And then electric vehicles tires wear out about roughly 20% faster on electric vehicles, meaning you're going to go through a lot more rubber, which means more plastic, more oil to make the tires, everything that way. So it's going to actually use more tires, use more rubber, whatever that way. That's because the electric vehicles are roughly 30 to 50% heavier, depending on the kind that you get, making them equivalent to like a sedan. An electric vehicle sedan is equivalent to the roughly about a Dodge Ram 1500 half-ton pickup, and a sedan are about the same weight for an electric vehicle compared to an internal combustion engine. That's a lot. That's quite a bit. And on top of that, electric vehicles, there's no road taxes on electric vehicles, because if you don't know this, the majority of the road taxes come from fuel. So when you buy fuel, you're paying road taxes. That's why, like farm diesel, they take all the taxes off. They don't pay the road taxes, everything on the farm diesel, because it's for a farm, so they don't have to pay taxes on that, yada yada yada. But for electric vehicles, they don't pay any fuel, so they don't pay road taxes. And being heavier in general, they're going to tear up more of the roads. And I know what you're going to say, the farmers, not paying road tax on that, but that's for a business. Any kind of business you do, you can take taxes, take off, whatever you spend for your business, you can take off taxes. Like I do construction, so whatever I buy for my business, I can take off taxes, whether I pay taxes on that or not. I'm still taking that off taxes. So it's the same concept. They're just taking that tax off already, so I don't have to worry about it, because it'd still be the same way. So we're talking a heavier vehicle is doing more damage to the roads because they are heavier than a vehicle of the same equivalent, and they're not paying road taxes. So they're tearing up the roads and not even paying to get them to be able to fix the roads. Seems a little messed up. So there's got to be something done there. Obviously, I'm not saying that it's a bad idea to not have any electric, have electric vehicles or whatever that way. I think the technology is I think as the technology improves, I think they'll get better. They might be able to make them lighter. They might be able to do all these things to make them better. But right now, the technology is not there to go fully electric. On top of that, I also looked up, obviously you have to charge them. It takes a lot of electricity to charge a battery. So it's not a free, once you buy it, that's not your only expense. You still have to pay electricity, just like you would have to pay fuel for all that. I think I looked up, I don't remember the exact numbers, but somewhere around 35% of the all of the United States' electricity comes from coal, and another 20% comes from natural gas. Those are two forms of energy that many, especially on the left, this is where most is coming from, is on the left. That's kind of what they demonize, is non-renewables. I believe there's only around like 18% or something like that was actually from renewable energy across the United States. And most of that was not even nuclear. Like there's some that was nuclear, which is actually probably really the only truly capable energy source that would actually be capable of doing this at a large scale, you know, of keeping up with the demand. And that's one that they don't really like. It's actually renewable. Actually, it's one of the safer ones, but I don't want to get into all that right now. But so really, when you're buying your electric vehicles, you're really not helping much of anything, and you're really not saving the environment like they're trying to claim. It's really not doing much of anything. They're trying to claim that it's a big, you know, to help save the environment, yada yada yada. It's really not. It's really not. I mean, it might be a little better. And as the technology improves, I'll admit, as the technology improves, it may actually help, you know, cut down on the emissions. But right now, technology, the way where it is right now, and the timeline they're given, technology is not going to improve enough to actually go fully electric within the next 20 years even, and actually make a difference. It's really not. The technology is not there, and I don't see the technology getting to that point right now anyway, at least for a long time. And right now, the mining capacity, enough to actually go fully electric just in the United States, the mining capacity in the worldwide is not there to produce enough, you know, the materials needed for the batteries. It's not there. It's not a plausible option.